Today's a new day. I have an appointment at 1:50 with the pulmonary doctor to discuss how the CT scans came out. And I thought I'd go ahead and do the video while I at least had some makeup on and look better. So I can at least look at it and think I look better. I'm enjoying reading Mooji and Sri Sri Ravi Shankar and Eckhart Tolle books. And they really are helping to keep me sane, let's say. Um, I've spent all of yesterday and all this morning and right now continually saying, is this the present moment? I had woken up this morning and I had had a bad dream, several of them during the night. One of them, I woke up not long after I went to sleep at 11 o'clock. I woke up and I just was breathing very heavy. I could see a woman's face and that's all I could see. And I thought, well, relax, go back to sleep. And I just observed the symptoms and went back to sleep. And then this morning I woke up to take my medicine and I fell back to sleep afterwards and basically had another dream. And this one I remember completely. And it's one of my old fears from previous marriage brought into the present marriage. And it shows me how those things travel along with you. And I remember Eckhart explaining the only way to stop the insanity, let's say, and these are my own words, is to stay in the present moment. Because as long as I am allowing the mind to feed me this negative stuff all day long, that dream pops up. All morning it's been popping up, and it will all day long if I give it place, if I pay attention to it. And so I started off explaining to the mind, this is a dream, and it's based on past experiences which are caused a fear. So we're not going to play with it. It's not real. What is happening in the present moment? And that has been the biggest help, just constantly when I catch myself somewhere else, even if it's thinking, okay, what am I going to tell the doctor? What's going to happen there? What's happening in the present moment, Deborah? Where are you right now? The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. All you have to do is call them and make sure the CT scans are through or have come through before you go. That's basically all you have to worry about. You're very blessed to have a wonderful life. And I think that's one of the things I'm learning is I keep hearing Tammy, my nurse practitioner, over a year ago had said, Debbie, you are so blessed. And I keep hearing her say that. I love that woman dearly. She's a very divine soul. And it was just what I needed to hear to remind me and to hold on to. You are very blessed. The mind tends to want to see, oh, this and oh, that, but this and but that, when in reality, I have food. I have applesauce, and I love it. you know, I have a warm place to be. I'm dry. I am blessed. I am not working. I don't think physically I could handle it. I haven't been able to for years to have to jump up, get ready, go, and go at work and feel well enough to keep up your responsibilities. So I've been blessed with a wonderful husband who has killed himself working so I can stay home. And of course that creates a guilt. I would love to be able to just walk out the door and let it all go for his sake and my guilt's sake, to let all that go. But once again, I have to say, present moment. Now, I did call him the other day. He had stayed home 3.5 weeks with me during this illness, and or when we found out about the problems. And he is just to the max stress. If he calls the house because he's gone to the store and I don't answer, he hurries back and about kills himself, worrying something's happened. I've fallen down. I couldn't breathe or something. So I called him the other day and I said, look, I'm wearing you out calling you afraid. I'm wearing you out calling you for strength. I'm wearing you out. Here you are back at work. You don't need to hear this. I need to grow up and be a good girl and take care of myself. And that's where I am now. And, we all need someone to take care of us at times. And I needed him desperately. I couldn't do anything. But the strength has come back slowly but surely. And it's just ridiculous to pull on somebody else when you don't need it. But of course, the mind says, oh, but I like this. I don't want him to go back to work. Well, he doesn't want to go back to work either. He has his own issues and his own pains physically. And, he doesn't want to either. So don't make it any harder on him. Let him have a good day. If you can't call him and talk about something nice, don't talk about anything at all. I do find that lately the negative from other people really affects me. It's like it immediately causes an emotion and it's painful. And I'm not sure if it's that the mind trying to find something else because I'm not playing the game and writing the story anymore. So it's going to take somebody else's story and use that. That's really my first guess. Or I'm just so used to being by myself and not putting up with all the crap. But everybody has to have their space and everybody has their own issues, and I remind myself of that. And I reminded myself of something that Sri Sri said: respect all people, respect everything. And he said even man, I can't remember the word he used as an example, but the bomber out there, even him, respect him because he's showing you what not to be. And the Native Americans have the same thing, Spider and Coyote. They show you what not to be by the stupid, hilarious, crazy things they do and get in trouble. And these people have basically given over their lives to ego and pain and suffering. And by seeing what they do, we can learn from it and be better people rather than have to have that experience. Our minds think a thought is real. And if, like the dream, it thinks that dream happened and it's chewing on it. It's got to figure it out. How do I solve this? And it's just not. It's just a thought. Really, the whole story of your life is just a thought. It somehow the brain has to understand in time, and it will, that it's all just a story. Now, there are things in your past that happened that you need for a reference point, and there are things that you need to think about in the future and take care of. And this is all normal. But to let your mind constantly beat you into feeling, oh my God, this is horrible, or this is scary, or what ifing, no, that's just not necessary. I had read something in Eckhart's book about children, which I found fascinating, and it really was helpful to me. He said that when they're young, and once again, this is my own words, um, when you're a child and something very negative happens, you can't cope with it. So it basically, what you remember is the emotion, and you don't put anything to it. So later on in life, you run into something that reminds you of that, and you go berserk, and you don't know why. And it just all the cards fell into place for me. I said, yeah, because as a child, you haven't had enough experiences for the brain to have something to reference to. So all it can remember is exactly what happened in the fear and the pain and the anguish. That's all it has to record. It has nothing to reference it to. When mommy did this, she told me to do that, or anything, any comfort, nothing. So it just freezes and records the happening and throws it back at you years later, and you don't know why you're reacting the way you are. And I wish so much he would write a book on taking care of children. No, he doesn't have children, but he has such an enlightened view of the psychological mind, the spiritual, all of it, a very balanced view that I think it would be very helpful and go right along with his New Earth book. But the children, I watch them, I watch my grandchildren, watch my great grandchildren being raised by my granddaughter. And she is so intelligent, my granddaughter. She asks for help. Most parents don't. They want to do it themselves. It's my way, it's my child. She asks, she wants to learn, she wants what's best for them. And we talk often about these things. And I try my best to be honest without making her feel like she's stupid because we're all learning. I'm learning. We're constantly learning. But I feel like if anything, we should share what we do pick up. So what I read in books and things or learn myself about child care, I try to pass on to her. And this is something I do want to share with her. And she has even taught me some things she's learned that I had no idea. I wish I'd known when I was raising kids. I wish I was more intelligent and enlightened when I was raising the kids. But we can't go back and change the past. We have to go forward. And whatever happened, happened for a reason. And it can serve to bring those children to awakening. And we have to remember they're not really our children. We did the best we could with what we had and what we knew at the time, and move forward and learn more and share with them so that they can have a better chance than we did at raising their children. So I will probably do another recording when I get home from the doctor's office. But we'll see. I'm going to keep these short because really they're just a talking from me to me. If for some reason somebody else gets to watch them, that's great. Thank you, Debbie, for talking to me. I hope you have a good day. I know you'll have a good day. And that's something else to remember. Charles at the hospital and Eckhart Tolle in his book and Mooji all talked about the same thing. Your thoughts, your mind believes. And if you think this is going to be a miserable day, it's going to be a miserable day. It believes it, and it immediately reacts to the thought. And sometimes, as Eckhart said, it even reacts to that primitive thought from a child that has no tail to it. You don't know why. So stay in the present moment. And every time the mind tries to pull you away, stay in the present moment. Pull yourself back. The minute you realize that you're there, then you're aware. The minute you realize that you weren't in the present moment, as Mooji would say. So stay in the present moment as much as you possibly can and just hold on to the beauty of life. Don't concentrate on the negative. I love you.